We're going to take a quick look at a hydraulic hose modification I did to the Maxjax lift. The Maxjax lift is a great product. It's designed for residential garages with low overhead clearance, and it's a side-by-side lift. You can get full access under the car. The one issue I had with it was the length of the hydraulic hoses and the placement of the couplings. They were a little bit short and you tend to trip over them. So the first thing I did was I put a street elbow here. The hose used to come out straight and then make a big loop, so we gained a few inches of slack in that. The second modification was the placement of the couplings. Originally the couplings were up here and the hoses would come out at a high angle and you would trip over them when you walk by the lift. So I lowered the placement down near the floor, and now they lay flat and you can walk around without tripping on them. It was a nice change. So I ended up, everything is 3/8 pipe thread here. So we got one 3/8 union, 90-degree street elbow. This is a 2-inch stub, 45-degree coupler. And I have one coupler here, but you could use a solid piece. I just had 2 pieces I wanted to use up. And it's 12-inch piece and 6, so it's down about 18 or 20 inches. And then I did a 45-degree street elbow, and this screws the male coupler fitting on here, which originally was screwed right here to this. This is the factory thing. And I took an eye bolt and I ground it a little bit and opened it up so it slid over, and I got it bolted on the back so it's solid. So when you redo the coupler, there's no movement. You don't want to have it move it on the street elbow. So this made a nice change to the lift. You can see how the hoses lay flat and you don't trip over them. Previously they would come out high and they would be too close to the car, so it was a good deal. Now, when I put these on, I didn't want to have to re-bleed the entire system. So before I took everything apart, I lifted the lift to the highest point and I put the safety bars in, and I released the pressure so I could uncouple the hoses. Then when I installed the new piping, I filled it up through the street elbow with oil as much as I could, so there's a minimum amount of air trapped in there. And then I lifted the lift up just enough to get the safety bars out, and then when the posts came down, it forced all the air back into the reservoir, and any bubbles would just dissipate at the normal course of events. So I did the whole thing without a need to re-bleed the whole system. But if you want to have a little less obtrusive hoses where you don't trip over them, this is a modification you might consider. Thank you.